Hello, welcome back to QZ Retro RPG. This is Castle and Rose, and you are here at Gold Coins Speak Real Money. So, if you caught part one, you know we walked into this broken world together. A future where the money failed, systems collapsed, and regular people were left to survive on whatever scraps remained. If you're just joining us now, I recommend going back to part one first. It will make everything we talk about today hit you a bit harder. Because today, we are still in that broken world. Still exploring, still trying to understand how things got this way. But today, we're also going to find something. Find something that changes everything. Like I said, we're still here in 2300 AD. Still inside these domes, where the last of humanity is just barely holding on, like you just saw. And there was even a character that said, "Save your money." Which might not always be the best thing. That's another topic. So you know, what does strike me about this place every time I come back to it? These people, they do not give up. Even when they're in the worst possible version of the future. Even with nothing left. They're still here. They're still trying. They're still moving. Even the old guy's going. Look at him. It's beautiful. There's almost something stubborn about the hope. Finds a way to survive even when everything around it is dark. And what that stubbornness is exactly what gave birth to Bitcoin. Let me tell you one of the most fascinating stories in modern history. And I'll mean that genuinely, because this story has everything. It has a global financial crisis, a mysterious genius, an invention that changed the world. And to this day, nobody knows who actually did it. It's the year 2008. The financial system just collapsed. Banks are failing. Regular people are losing everything. And somewhere, someone who called themselves Satoshi Nakamoto sat down and wrote a 9-page document. 9 pages. That is it. To describe a completely new kind of money. Amazing, isn't it? They called it Bitcoin. And the idea was simple but radical. What if we created a money that nobody controlled? No government, no bank, no single person with the power to print more of it, or freeze your account, or decide you do not deserve access to your own funds. Just a system that's run by math. It's maintained by thousands of computers all over the world, where every transaction is recorded publicly and permanently, and nobody can change those rules. Satoshi released Bitcoin to the world in January 2009, and then did something nobody expected. They disappeared. Just vanished. They left the project and in the hands of the community and walked away. To this day, nobody knows if Satoshi is one person or a group of people. Nobody knows where they are. Nobody knows why they left. There are theories, there's suspects, but no confirmed answer. I even have a theory that it's AI from the future. Something like that. And then honestly, that mystery might be part of the point. Because if nobody owns Bitcoin, nobody can be pressured, bribed, or threatened into changing it. The creator disappearing might have had the most important, it might have been the most important thing they ever did. Pretty amazing. Now, here is the part that makes Bitcoin truly different from everything that came before it. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. Ever. That number, it's written into the code. It can't be changed. Nobody can decide one day that actually, oh, we need more, let's print it. No, it's fixed. That's it, forever. Think about what that means compared to the dollar. You remember our cake from last episode? The one that kept getting cut into smaller and smaller slices? Bitcoin is that cake that will never be cut beyond 21 million slices. That's it. Once they're all cut, that is the dollar, or sorry, that is the whole cake for the rest of human history. Right now, we have about 20 million Bitcoin that have already been mined, which means that there's only around 1 million left to ever exist. Out of the entire 21 million that will ever be created, we are almost at that finish line. Here's something worth sitting with. Governments and large institutions, they're already holding over 1 million Bitcoin between them. What that means, the amount available to regular everyday people is getting smaller by the day. That's not a reason to panic. It's not a reason, or sorry, that is a reason to pay attention. So, here's something else that is wild. It's estimated that around 3 to 4 million Bitcoin have already been lost forever. Because people who forgot their passwords, hard drives that were thrown away, early holders who passed away without even leaving instructions, gone, irretrievable, which that means the actual number of Bitcoin that real people can access right now is even smaller than you think. Scarcity creates value. We all understand that instinctively. That is why gold is valuable. That is why land in a great location is valuable. There's only so much of it. Bitcoin took that idea and wrote it into mathematics permanently. Now, I remember when I first heard about crypto. Funny enough, it was my lady who said, hey, why don't you look into crypto? And I was like, huh? What is crypto? And at the time I was looking for ways to make money, you know, this kind of thing. So I was skeptic. I was like, what is this crypto? Why would I look into it? But I'm very open-minded. So I didn't let that stop me. And I said, okay, well, let me just see what it is. What do I got to lose? Nothing. And so I started to learn about it. And I was just amazed by the world of crypto and the opportunities available. Of course, like anything at the beginning, has its scams and dangers, but it's still an opportunity. So why I share that, it's because I think most of us, we have had a moment like that where something new comes along, right? And we're not sure whether to laugh at it or lean into it. Now, the people who leaned into it early changed their lives. And it's still early. That's what's crazy. Because that window has not closed. Just like in the game here, where we just found the seed. The sunstone seed, right? The man right here tried to get the seed by himself and failed, but we found it. So we're bringing hope again. And like I said, with this world, when we go outside, it's a world with no sunlight. There's no energy. Hope is almost gone. But then you got that seed. It's something small, something that looks almost insignificant, sitting there in all the darkness. But what this seed carries is the potential to restore everything. Light, warmth, life. It just needs to be found by the right people and brought somewhere it can grow. That's what Bitcoin is to me, when I learned about it. In 2008, the financial world was dark. People had lost everything. Trust was gone. And then somewhere in the darkness, a stranger left a seed. 9 pages, a fixed supply. A system that belonged to nobody and therefore belonged to everyone. Most people still walk right past it today. So, we have the seed now. We know what it is. We know where it came from. We know why it matters. But having something valuable is only half the story. The other half is what you do with it. Who you bring it back to. How you plant it somewhere it can actually grow and feed people who need it. In part 3, we're going to bring the seed back to the community. And we are going to talk about exactly that. How you actually take this knowledge, this technology, this new kind of money, and use it in your real life. Practically, simply. Without needing to be a tech genius or even have a lot of money to start with. Because that is what the whole point of this series is. It's not for the people who already have everything figured out. It's for the rest of us. Those that are willing to listen. I will see you in part 3. And why don't you bring someone with you this time? Someone who needs to hear this. I will see you there.